How do you make sure that your business won't fail? Today, I'm going to tell you the number one thing that you should focus on to avoid your business failing today. I've seen so many people go into business, they go out, go into business, they go out, and they keep failing, and you wonder why they're failing. And I'm going to tell you the reason why today, why probably the majority of businesses fail is due to lack of sales. It's not the operations, it's not the business idea, it's not having the right setup, it's not all these other excuses that you hear, oh, the timing wasn't right. It's not all those excuses. Those exist in every single business. The reason that businesses fail is because people don't realize that you, as the business owner, will be the main salesman at that company for the first 5 years of its existence. Sometimes more, maybe less if you can really scale the business, but you need to be a salesman. And a lot of you guys don't want to hear that. You want to do the fun and the sexy side of business. You want to do the marketing that isn't really direct sales, or you want to do creating the website, doing the operations, setting up all the stuff. You want to do all that stuff that's really going to distract you from the main goal. You can't have a company unless you have sales, unless you have revenue coming in. You can't process a sale unless you have somebody who's interested. You can't do anything until you have somebody who wants to buy from you. But so many business owners avoid that. They don't think about that before they start a business. They say, well, this is all the stuff. This is all this. Let me set up my logo. Let me set up my website. Let me make sure I have some brochures. But they don't have a plan of action of how they're going to get people to buy from their business. You think of all these contracting companies, right? How do you become a successful contractor? You get jobs. How do you become a successful consultant? You get clients. How do you run a successful social media company? Well, you got to get clients. You have to get clients in every single business. If you have no revenue coming in, therefore you do not have a business. I always say sales solves every single problem in a company. If you can continue to bring in more and more and more revenue, then you can feed your expenses. And almost anything can be solved from an expense, right? Your company's disorganized, it's not getting things back. Okay, spend money on a training system to hire employees because you have money, because you made the sales. Everything is a reaction to the sales that you make. How do you scale a company? You bring in more sales. How do you scale a company? Multiple locations, multiple employees, having a CFO, a CPA, delegating stuff so you as the owner aren't getting buried every single day. You bring in more money. You have to have more money coming in. You have to. And what a lot of companies do is they potentially will get it right at the beginning. Will grind, they'll make the cold calls, they'll do whatever it takes to grow their business. But what happens is the ego comes into your head and you say, we've been successful. Now let's make it complicated. So many business owners make it complicated once they start making some money. Once they start driving a nice car, having a nicer house, making more money than they've ever made before, been there, and then you start making it complicated. You don't continue to do what you've done to get to that point. It's as easy as doing that first sale over and over and over and over again. But so many people, what they realize is they're like, well, ego says that I don't need to do it anymore. That somebody else at my company needs to do it because, Warren Buffett, he doesn't do sales. Well, yeah, he's a $1 trillion company. Okay. So you, as a small business owner, until you get over really 20 employees, 30 employees, the only thing that you should be focusing on, you, the business owner, should be focusing on sales. You should be saying, how can I delegate all the stuff that I'm doing other than sales to somebody else? That's how you scale your business. And then you continue to focus on sales and you're saying, hey, I have so many sales, I can't handle them all, so let's bring on a salesman. Let me have a team of salespeople. I am the team leader of the salespeople. And then eventually you have so many salespeople, you have to hire a sales manager, and then you manage the sales managers, but you're still in sales. And then eventually you have a manager managing the sales managers, managing the salespeople, and then you're potentially out of sales at that point. Again, that's probably 50 to 60 employees that you have at that point. But business owners don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that they've signed up for a sales job, which you have as a business owner. You have signed up as the sole responsible party to bring in revenue to your company. And the ego will tell you, hey, you don't need to do that anymore. You're the owner. Have everybody else work for you. But nobody is going to care about your business other than you yourself, and I. That's the only person who will care enough to go get in the dirt and work your tail off. You're not going to be able to afford elite salespeople at the beginning. So you need to be elite. You're not going to be able to afford an elite sales manager until you have a team of salespeople that are elite. But you have to be elite before you have somebody else. Your ego will creep in and will tell you, hey, no, you don't need to do that. You make great money. You make great money. You don't need to be doing sales. You need to be hitting the pavement every day. You have to do sales. I've heard this saying, somebody said, you are 3,000 cold calls away from success. You are. If you have had success and you've brought in sales, you need to find a way to duplicate that and you lead the charge. And this is what happens is that you grow your business and it hits a certain point and then you're like, man, how do I continue to scale? And then they try to remove themselves from the sales. Don't remove yourself from the sales. Embrace it. Sales is you bringing in revenue to your company. The best way to scale is to scale people underneath you as the owner. You should be leading the charge. You should be leading the charge. Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter, what did he do? He went in and he sat with the developers, sat with the coders, sat with everybody. Tesla, the same thing. He slept on the warehouse floor in there with the workers. He was leading the company because he wanted to grow the company. Companies grow when the leaders grow with it. When they sit inside and they say, hey, I am here to grow the company. I'm here to grow the sales, right? So what I'm trying to say, who's the biggest salesman of Tesla? Elon Musk. Who was the biggest salesman of Apple? Steve Jobs. Who was the biggest salesman of Microsoft? Bill Gates, okay? You start running all these successful companies, Amazon. Who's the biggest? Jeff Bezos, right? He's the face. He's the head. Now, at the beginning, nobody knew Jeff. They were interacting with Amazon, but he was in there. He was in the garage. You see that picture of him. He's working hard. He's doing the sales. He's doing the development. But so many owners, they get lazy. They get complacent, and they say, I don't need to be doing sales. You need to be doing sales, okay? If you want to grow your company, and you really want to grow it to a point in which you have your company working for you, everyone says that, like, oh, you don't want a job as a business owner. Well, you will have a job at the beginning. And you should embrace sales so you can get to that level of having crazy wealth. So many people, they get fat and they get happy and they don't think they have to work out in their business. You do need to work out in your business and you need to work out on sales right now. If you like today's video, hit like and subscribe. Go check out my channel. I got tons of other videos on business, how to start businesses, reviewing business ideas, and reviewing franchises if you're interested in that and continuing to add value for you here. Thanks.